Hello everybody, it's me, Igor, your friendly neighborhood crypt horror. Now, I know that most of you recognize me as the charming, happy-go-lucky and friendly man behind the camera of all of WAAAAAH's videos, but today, having just been painted up to this lovely standard by WAAAAAH pre-Tamiya Red, I thought I'd do a little FaceTime in front of the camera to actually do a video review of a product that's been weighing heavily on my mind for the last couple of months. Now, as a online YouTube celebrity, which I like to think of myself as, people out there in the community have been very curious and interested to know what I think about the game system known as Warhammer 40,000. It's a very popular system. It has been for many years, and there are rumors that it might just be the greatest war game to ever hit the bookshelves and the gaming tables and the hobby stores. And if it's not the greatest, it's at least the most popular and the most well-known and the biggest money maker out there. So look at it how you will. Personally, I think it's a fun game. I like to build and paint armies myself when I can get my horrendously terrifying claws around the paintbrush and paint up a model. But enough about me. Let me tell you what I think about the Warhammer 40,000 games and rule set by doing what WAAAAAH would call an unbooking. Yeah. Now many of you out there will recognize this little beauty. This is what you call a mini rulebook. It comes in the starter set, which is called the Assault on Black Reach, and you can get it with a small little force of space orcs or space marines, and it's very handy because it's small, it's compact, it's easy to navigate and look through, and if you can't find what you want, there's an index and a table of contents as well. Now if you want to splurge and if you have the financial resources, unlike myself, because I don't have a real job, all I do is work the camera, if you actually have money to spend, you can go out and buy a hardback book. And the hardback rule set is very good to have with you because it has lots of pictures and fluff, and everybody knows that I love fluff. But why don't we stop talking about the differences between the mini rulebook and a hardback rulebook and talk about the actual rules? Now, I've been spending a lot of time learning the 5th edition rule set because I'm very interested in starting my own Warhammer 40,000 army, and most of you wouldn't agree with it, but I think that I'm going to start my own army, and what better army to start with than the uber cheesy, uber overpowered, unbelievably undercosted army of terrible proportions, known as, in the online community, the Footslogging Eldar list. Whew, I can't wait to show up with my Footslogging Eldar army at my local tournaments, put them on the table, and just bask in the silence and the odd admiration of every sweaty gamer and nerd fanboy in the building. Whew, it gives me shivers just thinking about it. But now, on to the rule book. Now the rule set for 5th edition is very interesting because it Igor. Yes?
It's very the 5th edition because it is a very, and before it's going 6th edition.
What did you just say?
He said that he the 5th edition because All Games Workshop is I just did my email box and I checked my email and then it's 5th edition saying 6th edition is going around.
Well, why would they announce a 6th edition? What's wrong with 5th edition?
Well, they said the 5th edition overconsolidates some mad word codexes.
Yeah, but I don't care about any of that. I just started learning the 5th edition and how they're gonna announce that they're starting a new edition and that they're gonna release it and put it up for advanced orders on the website when I haven't even wrapped my head around the rules of the 5th edition in the first place.
Well, they said that the paper, charge.
Well, obviously it makes them a lot more money, but how is announcing a 6th edition and then putting it up on advanced orders, and then not having it like even turning around the corner a couple of weeks later being available after what? What? I don't understand. I worked so hard to memorize the 5th edition rule set.
Well, they said it's not going to be that different for 5th edition, but 6th edition is going to have it.
But how am I going to afford all of that? I just bought all my Footslog in Eldar, and they're all Finecast. And you know how Warboss Dave feels about Finecast.
Jarvis Johnson says he doesn't care what you think, and then you can say
well, that's not very polite of him to say. Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, there you have it. Just as I was wrapping my head around the 5th edition rule set for Warhammer 40,000, it looks like Games Workshop is going to be releasing a 6th edition, and that is going to be coming right around the corner very soon. Say, scary man in the black armor, how is it that you know all this anyway? I mean, how did you know the Games Workshop is going to change their whole entire edition from 5th to 6th? And what makes you such a big expert on a games company that just decides to change everything? I mean, you would think that you would be like a servant of some great power or deity who is an expert in change and things that change from one thing to a...
Are you serious, bro? Are you serious?
What?